It's week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the world's steel capital in the city of bridges, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Acrisure Stadium. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. It didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
We always talk about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry. The officials did as well.
On first down, Osborne caught. It's Wilson. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely to pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
He'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And the Steelers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line.
They went for the deep shot early, and that's fine, but I don't think it was the right target to throw it to. You had 3 other guys sprinting downfield, and I thought 2 of them were open. Could have avoided an interception there by attacking a different player in coverage.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. A man who was the Georgia State High School Player of the Year in 2020. Here's Jahmyr Gibbs. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. The numbers for Gibbs from last week. 10 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked with him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he powers his way up past the 30. When you talk about this Seahawks defense, this crew against the pass, issues at times, right? Number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
When they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against some people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
And he will have a Steelers first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down. Gibbs, and he lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And I guess we're back to square one. A rocky start here. A turnover followed by a turnover.
Not exactly what we expected going into the game, but I always wonder about the nerves and people starting, the emotions of the game. Sometimes it takes a little while for that to play out and for them to settle in. Let's hope that that's taken care of now.
Pass to the right, and he's got McBride. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 23 yards on the play. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. He tried to get away, but to no avail, and an absolute killer there. A 12-yard loss on 1st and goal.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, it's Walker. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. They get 5 on the run, but it leaves them with a tough 3rd and goal forthcoming.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. That'll be a big loss on the play there. An absolute disaster, really.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They fumbled the last time they had the football. Fortunate that it only led to a field goal. 3-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. On the ground, here's the 4th-round pick from April's draft. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Here's Griffin. Over the middle, it's complete. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. The Steelers had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. You talk about this Seahawks defense. This unit currently 7th in the NFL, Charles, in stopping the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down. On 1st down, Chamberlain. any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice gain.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with second and a couple. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career, that draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they called Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
They run with Ford, and he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Griffin. That's Samuel, caught left side. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the first, right around the 15. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And his kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
Here's Walker to start the drive. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down. The numbers for Walker last week: 13 carries, 79 yards.
And I know that last week's game is over, but this feels almost like a continuation of what he did in the previous game. It's almost as if in his mind he knitted together the 2 weeks with no break. He's off to a nice start here.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Off the play fake, Osborne. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Osborne. Got a man, it's McBride, complete. And they're going to have this across. Midfield and inside the 45.
Come on now. Let's do it. 34 yards. Seattle.
3-3, a tight one after one on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Osborne. And a completion to Wilson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They go play action here on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Osborne. That's complete to Turner. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can
touchdown, Seahawks. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. The extra point up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. This fielded right at the goal line. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Now it's Griffin. Pickens on the slant. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 43 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another first down run right there.
A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Ford will score. Touchdown, Steelers.
Sometimes offense, if you get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are even at 10 apiece. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to figure out if you can slow someone down while continuing your breakneck pace on offense. I know one thing. The people in the crowd, they're getting their money's worth right now.
And the fantasy owners like it.
Oh, without a doubt. They're just tallying them up, aren't they?
They're watching this game. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Off play action. Osborne. He finds his man. Complete. It's Clayton. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a first down.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression, he just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. From the 25, here's 2nd and 2. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Smith and Jigba in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Straight ahead, Walker. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Steelers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They go play action. Griffin. He's got this to Pickens. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards the final tally. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On 1st and 10, it's Griffin. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On 2nd down, here's Gibbs. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Griffin. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Throwing now, Griffin on first down. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6 points, but he could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll get started up at Cleveland Browns Stadium in Cleveland. And it's the Niners who have the lead as those 2 teams play the second quarter. The Niners trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Josh Downs, well over 100 yards with 2 touchdown catches to boot. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.